We're not against rap. We're not against rappers. But we are against those.
Something big about to happen. I hear the beat tapping. We some fly rhyming felines rapping on the track. Better yet, grab a gat, cause we hot like Enzo. Doors closed, windows up, cause that's the way we like to ride. Windy City hitting. Check mic 1 2 1 2. We live, baby. Hey Chicago, and welcome back to Speak Your Mind Radio. I'm your hostess with the mostest, Queen Starr, aka Miss Hip Hop. And today we have a dope guest with us, okay? And let me tell you why he's a dope guest. He's been with me all the way from the start, and like in the beginning, from the breaks to the get-ups to everything. You know, when I was just audio, he was right there. So this is a special moment just to see somebody face to face for the very first time. You feel me? Yeah. Okay. So you guys, you feel me? Without further ado, bringing next up to the mic all the way from New Jersey, my homie, PLS Xzady. Whoop.
Hey, what's good? What's happening? How's Chicago?
Chicago's great.
And when you was talking about the origin, that brought me back memories.
Yeah.
You know, because it feels like our first interview was like 2 years ago. That was before COVID-19 struck, and that made it feel like such a long time ago, right?
Wow. Yeah, you're right. You're right about that, James. Dang. That's crazy. I'm so excited. So we're going to get this in and everything. PLS Xzady, I call you James, but why don't you tell everybody out there, you know what I'm saying, a little bit about yourself and your hobbies and why did you get started into music in the first place?
All right, I'm repping from North Jersey, that is Montclair, and you could call me a producer. I love to call myself an artist. Yeah. Because I love to branch off in different arts, whether it be visual or audio. And I had my upbringing with producing and doing my own rapping, meeting up with guys at my school, in my neighborhood, coming to my studio, and we were always record demos over other instrumentals because that was during the mixtape era when you could buy instrumental mixtapes and we would rap over those. So yeah, I go like maybe 2003 all the way up to now producing.
That's dope because I told you before, like in the first interview, you had like a different unorthodox style, you know, just the way you produce and record certain things. It's like layers on layers on layers, you know, and that just brings us back to the 90s school era, you know? So I forgot to ask you the icebreaker question, which was, who is your favorite rock band of all?
Of all time, you know, my favorite. Okay, that's easy. It's Sursa Survive. I grew up off of that band.
Who? I don't know who they are.
They're post-hardcore rock bands.
Oh.
Like on the progressive side.
So not like too heavy metal-ish.
Yeah, they are heavy because I think they're technically called post-hardcore.
Oh, okay. So that's surpassing heavy metal.
Yeah, my visualization of heavy metal is like Guns N' Roses.
Really?
I don't know. What's your interpretation of heavy metal?
Okay, my interpretation of heavy metal is like Marilyn freaking Manson.
See, that's a little more metal, I think I would categorize him.
Okay. So what's the difference between metal and post-hard metal?
If I had to take a guess, hardcore would be derivative of classic rock, and metal would be more of a even more progressive, non-linear layout of music. If I had to take a guess with metal, and of course I'm no expert. I'm over here describing it as I see fit.
Yeah, that's dope to me though. You're a Nirvana fan, right? You love Kurt Cobain?
Yes, because that rock band is like the big rock band of my young era. Remember growing up, always hearing about that band, and it was so like mysticized, of course, after when Kurt Cobain died, and that actually amplified my curiosity in his life and his approach to art, what he stood for, and also the risk taking that he took.
What type of risk taking did he take in your eyes? Because I saw some risk taking too.
Being so open minded about race ideas. I remember he had few interviews where he goes out of his way to express equality. And, in rock music, people would consider that kind of risky. And,
Yeah.
and the elephant in the room, of course, is drugs,
Yes.
and being open about his love life.
Mm-hmm. With Courtney Love.
Yes. And, that's all risky.
Mm-hmm.
But, in retrospect, I see it as bravery. And it's really shameful that he died at an early age, because I would be so curious on what more he could have done.
Yeah, that's a real question to pose. Like, if they were to live longer, where would they be now?
Yeah.
So that brings me to my next question. What type of legacy would you like to leave behind for your people?
I would like to leave behind a legacy that people would live life shameless and fearless. Through me, I hope people would feel a need to want to shed an ego and want to be able to express themselves as
Yes.
comfortably as they see fit, and to care less about what other people may think that would hinder your ability to self preservate yourself, because I've
Wow.
noticed that people damage themselves by hiding themselves.
Dang, this is the first time I've been speechless.
It's okay. My bad.
No, that was
I,
pretty.
I bring this exclusive, intense feeling, and that's what you're getting off of me.
Yeah, and I guess we gonna skip this part of the music. Yo, okay. First of all, your single Coupee, it's Coupee, right?
Yes.
Okay. That was based off, please tell me, a non-fictional, right?
Yes, it is all non-fictional. In a way, I don't mean to knock Nas, but that's my approach to that song, is like sort of like telling a story through a window of like a compilation of different people's lives, and formulating it into a timeline story in that one verse, as you could hear. But obviously I'm putting myself in the driver's seat, and that's why it's called Coupé.
Right. Now that part I did catch. I ain't gonna lie, I don't catch everything, but go back to the part when you were talking about the different compilations of stories you implemented, like Nas.
Okay, so in when you was talking about my origin of how I start music, and my approach is, without me knowing, my context of music and hip hop is really like a compilation of history. It really hasn't came from the start. So my approach to beat making is layer by layer. And when I formulate a story, I could see myself in like different avenues, and try to um like almost like do like what an artist would do, steal like an artist, if you ever heard that quote. So I was able to take egos that I saw from battle rap, apparently.
Wow.
Yeah, that's also the origin of my artistic approach in that single. Is there was a moment where I wanted to get some insight in battle rapping, and I noticed their aggressive approach and what they say. And there's like a borderline. If you know in battle rap, we all know it's sort of like,
Yeah.
play a character.
Yes.
You have to sell the role.
Yeah.
And you have to be shameless. You have to be fearless, like I said. So
Oh, cool.
that's where I was able to channel this being comfortable with storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yeah.
not every story has to be for real, for real.
That's true. That is so true. It's like your songs take me on a trip throughout history, because I know one of your songs you had on the Holiday album, you were talking about the hold on, don't tell me. The most evil emperor in Rome. And you talked about in that song just like some crazy shit, because he was insane in the brain. Like for real, like Cypress Hill, You want to talk about that?
Oh yes, now I do know what you're talking about. The song is called Caligula. I
Yeah.
believe I'm pronouncing it. Yeah,
Yes.
and when I learned about that guy, it was sort of like a foreshadowing, or maybe like a telling a tale of this could be you if you lose yourself.
Yes.
And to sum up his story is that he starts off good, he starts off with a promise, but his demise takes shape in his ability to self-indulge himself all the time, and his self-indulgence turns into weird obsessions,
Yeah.
and it becomes his demise. So in a way, when I was making that beat, I was sort of like trying to channel the self-indulgence, the belligerence, and the ego in that song of like, you know what, maybe I'm not Caesar, maybe I'm not Julius or Octavia.
Wow.
Maybe I'm not Neo. But
Right.
in this instance, I could be Caligula.
Yeah.
So to give you also more influence on insight, I should say, on the beat, the sample came from Doom. And the video game Doom is
Okay.
when you have to go into a metaphorical cave and battle demons, and
Damn.
that was also like the subliminal I guess influence in my encouragement in the song making, I would say.
Hey man, this is dope. So you would, what I'm getting from is like subliminal message to your depression that you were facing a couple of years back.
Oh yeah, and to come to think about it, I think, maturely speaking, in my experience, any person that has dealt with depression has always dealt with depression, and maybe it changes shape and form throughout your aging process. And to make the long story short, a lot of times I notice that I do have the ability to channel not just happy-go-lucky feelings, but also darker
Yes.
emotions and feelings into my music.
Mm-hmm.
And I notice that it is helpful because, to be honest with my music making, is my music is sort of like exclusive, you're hearing this type of vibe. It's not really like, hey everybody, come along, let's all listen. This is sort of like something that you come across that you sort of want to learn about yourself through me. I'm hoping some people are able to reflect on themselves, or at least come to mind of some of the things that I bring up in my topics subliminally. And I noticed that depression, bringing it up can be useful. Yeah, I don't want it to come up to, to make somebody feel that way.
Right, right, right,
I
right.
hope my music don't come off that way.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
So that's always my achievement, is that through me I could bring this and shed to light on you know depression, as we're talking.
Yes, indeed. And I felt that in your music, and it felt like when I first listened to it, you know, I ain't gonna lie, I had to listen to it a few times because I'm like, where is he coming from with this, you know? And I just wanted to make sure, like, oh, you thinking about this for real? But like, no, you're channeling it from your gift that you have because you can do that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think. Go ahead, baby.
You know, and I did started to pick up on the point of depression having different shapes and forms and how I channel that into my music. It's that I noticed that until, you know, you really know how rock bottom feels, you're pretty good at channeling that. So I noticed that in my music making, I got better and better at that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You definitely, yo, no, seriously, because you know nobody starts off perfect. You feel me?
Mhm.
It's always about a build up, and you definitely got that down packed. I want to
And
go.
and also, I do notice that you did pick up on the song "Crazy as Hell," and a lot of other people picked up on that song,
Mhm.
despite all these other songs and topics that I release. And I just noticed that, yeah, I'm pretty good at being able to channel that because I think for an artist, it has to be authenticity, and
Yeah.
your listeners and your fans pick up on what's authentic to what you're producing and what's, you know, sort of like fugazi, if you will. So, you know, I noticed that my listeners and my fans, they really like me in that mode and being really bold and up in front with that, with my face on the cover, you know.
Yeah.
And you know, that's what I noticed what success actually means. You know, success isn't what you're most profitable off of. The
Right, right,
success isn't your latest song, your latest project. It isn't your first project.
right,
It
right.
isn't your most proudest project. You know, I
No.
notice success is the one where people always bring it up. You know,
Dang.
people like always remember that. You know,
Mm-hmm.
in artists, we love to get caught up in, oh, this is my most expensive song. You're going to really like this song. This is the song that got this feature on it. But they always know their most successful song is the one people are always going to remember and it's going to chime in their head whenever they see your face.
That's true. You're definitely right about that. I didn't think of it because you never know how it's going to happen or attract what crowd, your tribe, you know?
Well, honestly, people know in the artists because the unfortunate thing is what rarely happens for an artist is their most successful song isn't their favorite song. It's a lot of times it most likely is their first song. You know, the song that they're always going to bring up, and you notice some big name artists, they won't record their first hit because they're tired of that. But it is their most successful hit. It is a hit everybody around the nation, around this world would know them for.
Wow. Um, I don't want to keep talking about depression, but I kind of do.
Oh yeah, please do.
Okay,
Because
great.
I think people do need, you know, some light shed on other topics, and our culture is in this, like, people have been saying, toxic positivity movement
Right.
that's going on.
Right.
It's like becoming toxic to be overly positive and
Yes.
to like label certain, you know, put all these like little happy-go-lucky labels and try to filter in the censorship and, you know, try to control certain topics. I noticed.
Yeah, you was definitely on freaking point. Like you focused as hell right now. Okay, so I'm looking at your background and it looks absolutely amazing. I see Michael Jackson on the wall, so he must be one of your favorite artists too.
By default,
Yeah.
by default, he is because my family members are Michael Jackson fans and Diana Ross,
Mm.
Prince,
Wow.
Prince is right
Yes.
there,
Wow.
Teddy
Teddy
Pendergrass.
Pendergrass.
No, that's from a family member, and me being an admirer of music, I had to decorate my wall with some of that. Of course, I have my upbringing. My first impression of Michael is bad.
Yeah.
I don't really know Thriller Michael because every time I came across Thriller Michael, this was the Michael I saw all the time.
Me
If you
too.
notice.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's sort of surreal, still looking at it, nostalgic, of course, looking at Thriller Michael Jackson right next to Bad Michael Jackson.
That is so cool. I think Michael Jackson suffered from depression too. I think all artists do. I think a lot of people do. And like you said, it just comes in different forms.
Yeah, I think, it may sound cliche, the most famous people all go through this spectrum of emotions, and all of them go through that low point. Muhammad Ali, throwing away the belt, refusing to go to war. Michael Jackson with his family life.
Yeah.
And we could go on and on and on. Napoleon, exile. Um, Alexander, the death of his father, you know.
What happened with Alexander?
Alexander the Great.
Mm-hmm. What happened? What's his death father?
Philip II.
Philip II.
Okay, so I guess you don't know that much history.
I don't.
I'm a history buff, and I noticed that the more you learn history, the more you begin to see human interaction simplified, and you're able to realize the basis of the meaning of life. And if I could say real briefly, is the meaning of life is to always change, always evolve, and to always have a family and a connection with your community.
This is the second time you made me speechless. This is not like me. Like, I'm serious. That's so cool. Can you repeat that again? So, because that's got to be a clip.
Because a lot of times we think the meaning of life is happy emotion. We think the meaning of life is to be an upright citizen. We think the meaning of life is to have a certain amount of money. But I noticed all throughout history, the real meaning of life, the real reason why us humans are unique and we're different from other animals is because we changed and we evolved, meaning that we're able to progress. We're able to do something different, unlike all the other animals in the kingdom. We must always be comfortable with that progression, because if we ever regress, we're not being human. The other element, I would say, meaning of life is connection with family and your community. I notice that the beings that disconnect are they go through a spiritual emotional death. They do. And when you have family, when you have that backing, like in the hero's tale, he got his lover, he got his child, he got something, or she, they got something more than just a diamond, more than just a crown, more than just a monster that progresses them. And we subliminally know that. And to convert that into human life, we notice that through other people in our life. That's why we say, oh, that person is shallow. That person is fugazi, because they're all about the emotion, or they're all about, the cell phone, the money. But once when we get a sense that they're dating, subliminally, we connect. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's more than that, because that's I guess our evolutionary programming in us is to progress and to connect with one another. That's why I think we're looking at the internet as such a blessing, because it's I guess a part of our innate nature to connect with each other.
Wow, indeed. And COVID-19 shedded a big light on that fact, that we need human connection. So yes. I think we took that for granted, having human connection. And now that it was taken away from us, we yearn for it again, because we know that is within us. It's by nature.
It's by nature. It's the reason why we survive.
You're so cool.
Because I got to the point in my life, I got old enough to see things in transparency, and to realize what is at the core element of all conversations of all elements and all people. And I think when you lie to people, you lie to yourself.
Yes.
And you're in denial and you're not yourself. It goes back to that original point I said, you got to live life shameless, meaning you can't be lying because you're shameful.
Wow. You are a deep person, you know that. And tell me more about your your Pink album. I mean, not Pink, Pink Glow. Tell me about that, because I know that's about to be bananas.
Glow Pink. And I don't know why I came up with the name Glow Pink instead of Pink Glow, because I guess people would normally say Pink Glow instead of Glow Pink. But I think subliminally why I chose the word glow is the first command is to glow, to illuminate, to light up. My interpretation of light is truth, truth and the life. So my command is for you to glow. But in my instance, for me, I really like the color pink.
Me
And
too.
and the shameless part is, in boy culture or man culture, they sort of shame
Yes.
away. So it's almost like me subliminally again coming out of the shell and being brave, being fearless. Glow pink. I want you to glow. You could glow red. You could glow blue. I'm about to glow pink.
I like that. Okay, so is this an EP or an album?
Technically, when I was looking at it being registered, it's going to be considered singles because it's under 15 minutes long.
I noticed that about some of your projects. They were really short, and I wondered about that. I think that's pretty cool. It's kind of like what the flow is, get things out, get things out. And I think it's actually going to revert back to the times of recording in the 60s and the 50s where songs were a little bit longer, and
Yeah,
just
because you have this new streaming, thing going on, and we noticed that when you stay on an artist for a longer period of time, they're able to generate that. So it's going to have to revert back to long albums, long releases, possibly, maybe. I think there's still going to be short songs because the purpose of the short song is for you to play it again. Oh, I like it so much, let's play it again, and it gets more plays naturally because it's short. But I think, like what you said, I think we're going to go back to the LPs era, the long play era.
yes, indeed. I want to talk about one of wait, we're not done with Pink Glow Pink. I want to
Okay.
how many tracks are you planning on having on that, and how many will be instrumentals, like playing with your guitar versus storytelling?
Okay, so my musical direction, because I'm getting into releasing music at a later age in my life. So I have the liberty and the ability to release songs at my ease and to take a artistic direction with, okay, I can have these song releases that'll take me in this direction. I can release these amount of singles to take me in that direction. And my initial start was to release some experimental releases here and there. And then I went into a whole rap genre.
Uh-huh.
And then I stopped and started to do my rock genre.
Mm-hmm.
And what I noticed is a lot of the folks, well, I'm being honest, a lot of the folks, they really were liking releases that involve my rhythm guitarist and the
Yeah.
singing.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, man, I think we need to switch up something, like they can't just come to the show just for you, like let's try a different approach, so I could get some success with both of our involvement in a song release. And a lot of those songs that you're hearing are literally just demos. So obviously, because of COVID-19 coming and we had to quarantine, that really messed up a lot of the band practices. And that I do have coming, and I hope to, make some more music in the rock genre. So the reason why I said that, and to not, disappoint you, but this is going to be
Okay.
a a hardcore rap release.
That's cool, because I know The Rock is coming soon.
Yeah, yeah. I really love
Love
the
it.
idea of me using instruments and creating sounds and seeing where my artistic flow goes. I really love that idea.
And I really love the artistic idea of combining both rock and rap together. Idealistically, how you do it. You're not necessarily merging the two together.
Mhm.
It's like you're keeping them at bay and you're experimenting like a scientist would.
It's interesting. I don't see myself doing that, but you're giving me an insider of how somebody would view myself as my rock approach, as somebody that's putting rap and rock together.
Yeah, man, you got that.
Hey, thank you. I
You
take
got
it as a compliment.
for sure, for sure. It definitely is a compliment. Let me go to my question.
Mhm.
Because I had another question. Why is it at? Okay, here we go. Okay, so this is literally a random question, but
Mhm.
just well, not really, but 62 Marilyn Monroe from your album Holiday. That was the perfect title to that song because it evoked organic orgasms. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, like, it just did or whatever, because it just makes you think about sex and stuff like that. And then it was like all up in your head and what you think about certain aspects of the anatomy. I think that was pretty cool and everything. But what made did you come up with the title first, Marilyn 62? Because she died in 62, or did you write the song first?
Um, Writing the song first, and you know, maybe she was subliminally in my head when I was making the beat. Also, maybe subliminally, I told my good friend, who I also call an uncle, hey, yeah, this sounds like Marilyn Monroe type of vibes. Like you about to go on a dinner date with her in Paris. So now let me channel those vibes. Whenever I'm in the studio with my friend, I'd be totally honest with him in my artistic direction. And he never came, well, honestly, rarely came to a point because I can't even think of one time he was like, you know what, James, I don't like that concept. I ain't going to be on that track with you. He goes with the flow, and I really admire that he's able to help me channel my artistic direction. So when you hear that track, you're hearing him rap, and you're subliminally hearing me influencing with delivering that and making the beat. Coming up with the title and the visuals will come along with it because ironically, I'm thinking I'm the only one that could get that idea, but it's a success. You also get that idea.
Of course. Of course. Was your friend on the Holiday album with you?
Oh yeah, that holiday album. Because now that I think about it, I was using a distributor and they sort of yoked up my features, well, me registering features on that album. So I think now that I think about it, all of those songs register as just me on the track. But I had my cousin feature on some of those songs and a good friend of mine feature on those songs.
So are they artists on the regular, or you
Yeah,
just
yeah, they
yeah?
are.
What's
Yeah.
their names?
Well, my cousin is King Young Dread.
Hmm,
He's married in the family, and
beautiful.
I consider him cousin, family.
Yes.
And a classroom friend after school, still recording, you know,
Oh,
a good friend of mine.
that's fun. Cool.
So, yeah, to answer your question, King Young Dread and my friend Squeeze. But, I keep switching up his name, so you might see his name pop up as Squeeze World.
That's cool. Like Juice World.
Yeah, honestly, that's where the inspiration came from. My very first time coming across Juice World, I was like, wow, this kid is relatable. He has talent. And I
You're
listened
right.
ever since, and followed his path. And I was like, you know what? He's talking about something different and he's making it sound cool.
That's exactly what I got from him too, because he was kind of like on that dark path too,
Mm-hmm.
battling the demons within his mind from his drug addiction.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you're right. It does make that relatable to talk about shit like that. I'm sorry. You just got to talk about it because
Yeah.
it's in here and it's got to come out
Mm-hmm.
somehow in a positive, normal way. I'll say normal way. And that's kind of like what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love Juice World. He's from Chicago too. So,
Mm-hmm.
I was devastated when he left.
Yeah. I hear him on a lot of tracks and just admire how naturally talented he sounds and how
Mm-hmm.
comfortable he sounds. It doesn't sound like he's reaching. It sounds like it's all authentic and it's all there. And what really blew my mind also to show you how authentic he was on a rap radio freestyle rapping for about an hour or
Hour.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was like the proof in the pudding of his talent and his calling and his purpose.
Man, you are beautiful inside and out. You feel me? I
Thank you.
just like the way you think. I like the way you speak. I like your music. And your music makes me think too, because I had to look up a whole lot of shit.
Yeah, yeah. I really hope that through me, you start getting an idea of how I think and it inspires you to do your research because I do my research.
Dang. Okay, I see you. So I know COVID's still here, la la la, but when do you plan on giving us a new video?
You know, for a surprise, because here's a switch up. I gave you the song Coupee, but
Yeah.
the real single is called Orange Zoom, which features me and King Young Dread on it. I
Oh,
got some scenes shot for a music video that we're going to release the day after the singles drop. So after you watch the music video, you could go listen to the singles and indulge yourself in our world.
and what's the name of the single that's dropping April 23rd?
Orange Zoom.
Orange Zoom.
Yes.
Why did you name it Orange Zoom?
Because it's like going back to me channeling me being in the driver's seat and the tight
No.
the chorus is me saying I'm in a car, orange zoom. I don't want to give it away too much because
Oh, I got you.
I like my releases. So I gave you the Coupee song,
Yeah,
so
you
you
did.
don't get confused with all right. I hear this person rapping, then I hear this other person rapping. I want the fans to know exactly who they're listening to when we play this preview, or if you do.
For sure.
Right, I don't want to confuse the fans.
No, we don't want to confuse the fans. No. Coupee it has just you featured on there,
Oh
and
yeah.
Orange Zoom has your friend Red Dragon on there, right?
No, my cousin King Young Dread.
King Young Draft.
Dread.
Red. King Young Red. Oh, Dread. Dang. That's dope. Uh, okay. So I did have another question for you.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, duh. I have it in my hand. Okay. So you had this crazy ass song on, and I think it was on Holiday too. It was called Sean. Um, all I gotta ask you is, how do you kiss your mother with that mouth? Okay, because it's just like it's crazy stuff coming out of there.
Sean.
Yeah, it's SIA. Maybe I spelled SIAM. Sean.
Oh.
Um,
And even my friend, he's like, "What's the name of that song again?" Because he gets the name mixed up, gets it messed up. It's called Cyan, and
Siam.
Cyan, and it's named after a Lamborghini car. And
Oh,
me.
Yeah.
And for some reason, cars keep on popping up. And I could tell you the reason why. Okay, real quick. So, and I'm gonna answer your question about cyan and do you kiss your mother with
Yeah,
that?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right. So, car was my first word that I ever pronounced. So that's probably why I'm always like subliminally rapping about like being in a car, zooming, like being on the go, being out and about. So also, there's this Lamborghini car, a picture of it that was been hanging up in my room ever since I was a young child, and it's a white Lamborghini, and that gave me really excited about that car franchise and this brand. I always wanted one just from looking at it as a child, like, yeah, I'm gonna get me one of those. So if I had to take a guess, me in the studio after making the beat, I'm like, yeah, it's like some Lamborghini type music, like, and then my friend will hop on the beat, and that's who you hear. That's who you hear rapping on the track, is him just like saying, everything. I mean, also, my friend, he loves to drink beer and he loves to be really drunk when he raps. That's also what you're hearing. He's channeling that spirit in him, to come out and to, speak proud or whatever of whatever concept that comes to our mind. We're in my studio, we love to freestyle rap, and some people be like, gosh, man, I really want to write down something, but we just be always in the spirit, in the heat of the moment, making all this great music. And I love being on that edge of music making.
Hell yeah. Say hi. I know you in my interview, right? I'm sorry, Simon. This is my cat, Simon.
Hello, hello.
Okay, I'm putting down. He mad. Okay, get down. Shoot.
Cameo.
This is cameo. It is his cameo. Oh, no, can't have that. But yeah, yeah. Anyway, he's so funny, man. Okay. You didn't answer my question. How you kiss your mother with that mouth, though? Because it's like tongue kissing the rattlesnake.
I think I for a long time I love to believe that my family members don't know my lifestyle. We love to believe that our lives are so private, but people do pick up on you. People put together the pieces, and there's times in my life where it took me a while to figure out when my mother would initiate certain conversations with me. Where did that actually came from? She's probably picking up on my life, picking up on some of the things that I do, some of the things that I'm saying, in the other room that she hears just through the walls. And yeah, it's it, I do kiss my mother with that mouth, and I think you know to be really personal, it's me and my mother. We just have this like distant but kind of close relationship because we be going through the same type of woes.
So you kind of close to your mom.
Yeah, we are because I still live with my folks to this day.
Cool. Yep, that's what's up. Shoot, everybody needs their family. You need somebody. Everybody needs somebody. Period. Okay, so let's see what other. Um, I think I asked you all the questions. Oh no, I got one.
Mm-hmm.
Come here, baby. How many languages do you speak?
Just one. I loosely speak. I may have to pause real quick.
Uh-oh. Okay.
This might be important. Hold on. Let me just.
Okay. I'll just talk to everybody. Look at his background, y'all. Ain't it cute? It look nice. Miss Diana Ross. Come here, baby. Can you stop doing that?
Guess what? It's just a robot. You got those robots that'll call you about your insurance, your house mortgage,
Yeah, the bots.
phone calls. I'll be thinking, oh yeah, my important phone calls coming through. No, it's the usual scammers.
Yeah, yeah.
So you were asking me something.
Yes, I was asking you about the different languages that you speak.
Yeah, just English, and I loosely speak French, Spanish. Just being around Hispanic people, they'll teach me some words. And when I was working around Hindis, I was trying my best to pick up on that language.
Wow. In India, like I mean Indian language?
Yes, it is.
Cool. What's it called?
It's
I
called
know.
Hindi.
Oh, Hindi. Okay, because I didn't know. Okay. No disrespect.
No problem.
I just felt like you knew a lot of languages just based off your music and your history, all the clues that I had to pick up along the way from then to like right now. Feel me?
hmm whenever I can try my best to incorporate a phrase that I know, a word that I know with around some people, I will, and I would try my best to pick up on the language because I noticed that when you talk with different people, even also depending on the accent, different ideas come to mind and a different way of thinking also comes to mind. But that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother.
I know. That's why you're so cool and interesting. Okay. Like it's like kind of hard to stay on subject talking to you because of the knowledge, you know?
Yeah, and I love to share it. There's some people out here that will keep quiet and keep to themselves and try to survive to the best of their ability. And can you blame them?
No, I can't blame them. Um, all right. Oh yeah. What other instruments do you play?
Mm, I would say officially speaking, just drums and guitar, bass guitar. I would love to get into a
I'm dead.
banjo and see what type of sounds I could produce. Of course, I could bang around on a keyboard.
Yeah, you
No,
can.
no, nothing impressive because that's all right here in front of me. This laptop keyboard that I'm doing, and it's interesting that really the octave is right there. It's what other tritones or other tones are you willing to put together with this octave and that octave? So it's interesting when you're able to just notice, I guess, the first, 13 keys on a keyboard from, well, it's only 7 keys, and then it repeats itself to the next octave on the eighth. So that's all, I notice music is. You got your black keys also, and it's just a combination of those 7 notes, if you notice.
I guess I never really played a keyboard before, but you make it sound so easy almost.
Uh, I guess it's the way that I'm explaining it. And I
Yeah.
bet you there are some people that actually know music theory or they're like shaking their fists like, no, like you actually got it wrong. Music theory is this and that, James. Like, you're misleading people. So that's also the disclaimer. I think it is a blessing that the training that I've gotten in music went in one ear and out the other. Because maybe if I was so caught up on music theory, and this is the official approach to making a beat, I probably would sound like everybody else.
Yeah, and you don't sound like everybody else. Excuse me, period.
But
Um,
to reflect off of,
mhm.
I think that inspiration and the meaning is Picasso got famous when he chose to break the rules. If you notice, because he was artistically trained, classically trained, went to a university, and you would see his paintings at the age of 19 and at the age of 27 classically looks beautiful. But you notice the paintings that he got most famous off of were the ones where he broke the rules, where it wasn't classically known to approach painting in this way. So I think everybody in the art world, and also us civilians that don't know the art world, we appreciate the artist's approach when it's unconventional.
Yeah, right, because that leads to authenticity, like you said earlier, and people pick up on that.
Yeah, they do.
So true.
Yeah, we're intelligent human beings, and
Aren't
it's a
we?
shame that we try to fool each other. It's a shame that we lie to each other because we're too smart for that. It's 2021 after all. And you would think that us human beings will get to the point when we stop lying to each other.
Yeah, that was some real truth right there.
This is
Stop.
true.
Just be honest because you do know.
The children are picking up on it as we speak. We picked up on it and we're growing up. That's why we're in this climate that we're in, because we just notice people aren't authentic and people are lying.
That's true. That is very true. Um, that's a feeling that really came from the 90s, if I may add.
Mm-hmm.
Do
Mm-hmm.
you remember, I don't know, we're the same age now, do you remember like when they used to have like the party lines?
A party line, like the
Damn.
block party.
Yeah, like a block party on the phone. Seriously. We used to talk and chat, and we used to go in private rooms to talk to each other if you were interested in somebody. We were kids though, you know? But
Mm,
also be a lot of predators on there too.
I think I did come across that when I think Nickelodeon tried to have a party line for children to speak to each other, and that predator stuff started to happen. And and I was young, I think, when that was going on. But yeah, you're tapping, I guess, into a little bit younger generation than I am.
How old are you?
I'm 30.
I'm 36.
Oh, well, I guess I must have been a little too young for that. That I think what you're talking about, like people hopping on a party line, I think that was like a thing with some network television channel. I remember they were advertising children to, call in at this number and you could speak with other kids across the nation.
Damn.
But,
That's interesting because now I didn't even know about the Nickelodeon one, but I guess that's some further investigation I could do.
it's just springing into my mind as you're asking me, and I think that's probably the closest I came to like a block party line where people called in and what I could remember from that era.
Right. Do you know about Clubhouse?
I think, like, formally speaking, a lounge.
I like that. I'm gonna keep that in mind when I open my bar or something. But yeah, Clubhouse is just like the party line, but you use your iPhone and you're talking to other creatives like ourselves, and you exchange ideas back and forth, and you can feel the vibe just like we feel the vibe right now.
Yeah, we would love, and we always crowd. This our generation, the new apps, and I
That's true.
guess we loved the idea of connecting. And a lot of apps I notice are springing up, but then we all of a sudden get into a popularity contest, and then it
Mhm.
just ruins the app, and we gotta wait for a new one to spring up so it could be an even platform for everybody to be able to reach out to each other. So yeah, I encourage you to do that.
Thank you. Oh, one more question.
Mm.
What do you pick up about my vibe?
Your vibe is sort of like mine. Is you got this '80s vibe in the background with the graffiti and the box right there. I'm loving your your pink hair,
Thank
and
you.
I'm loving your tie dye. I'm loving all the jewelry you got. I'm over here hiding my little chain. Ain't nothing much.
Don't hide it.
I just realized it was
That's
all
dope.
way.
With the Nirvana shirt too. That's
Yeah.
dope. That's dope right there.
Every time
Yes.
I put this on, somebody's like, "Yo, where you get that shirt from?" And I'm like, "I got it from Hot Topic because Hot Topic always got those type of shirts. They always
They
got the
do.
band shirts." But I guess us, we get a little prideful, like, "Oh, all the emo kids going in there. We don't want to."
Yeah.
Way in the back, they got all the classic. They even have Cash Money. They got the Tupac shirts. They got the NWA shirts. They
Damn.
got
Curse.
Death Row shirts. I
Whoa.
think I said the Cash Money shirts. Like there's people that goes to the Hot Topic website and purchase them. And every time when I go in there and I see the display shirts of all the classic Nirvana shirts, the Pink Floyd's, the Guns N' Roses t-shirt,
Wow.
that all the cool kids wore in school,
Yeah.
those are gone because they already ordered them. People are on top of them, and that's what sells. These are the bands that set a statement and made a ripple in our culture that gave us that new approach, the new norm,
Wow. Hey, that's pretty cool. Yeah, Hot Topic. I didn't know that they became so diverse. Like last time I went in there, they weren't as diverse, but you could feel them transitioning.
Yeah, they got the Ice Cube shirts in there, the Tupac, the Snoop Dogg shirts. Like they're catching up. You gotta walk into Hot Topic and pick you up some cool threads.
Okay. I believe I will do that because I like that idea. It's pretty cool.
Hey, you're welcome.
Yeah. So James, PLS Xzady, thank you so much for blessing this episode. Like I just felt so much energy from you, man.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, y'all, if this was so real or if this was so raw. I'm sorry, y'all, if this was like so off the hinge, but that's how I am. I gotta keep it real. We gotta shed the ego because at this point, it is hurting a lot of us. It is hurting culture. It is damaging us at this point, and I'm hoping that through me, like what we said earlier, people are able to be them true selves.
Yes.
Don't go around destroying each other, because we don't like that idea. That's a whole nother topic. Destroying ourselves, destroying each other with all this violence. I'm hoping that through me talking about such and such topic, that it doesn't inspire you to now hurt one another, but it inspires you to be honest and to be able to express it and approach it in a productive way. Because if you notice, there's always going to be favor for horror movies, even though we know murder is bad.
Mm-hmm.
There's always going to be favor for pornography, even though we know adultery is bad. And I think in the safest of contexts, in the safest of settings, we can all engage in these emotions of what makes us human.
Yes, indeed. Indeed. Excellent episode. I'm serious. This was dope.
Hey, for the vibes, I love the fact that
thank you
hit me up and it was like, I want to talk about your artistic direction. I want to talk about your depression, because the ego inside of me would be like, heck no, I want to talk about Glow Pink and being this and being the rap star, telling you this story, and I'm in the Coupee, I'm in the Zoom, I'm going to New York. But also there's also a part of me artistically that indulge in other elements. And it's always a reminder to me that my fans cling to looking at me and hearing those emotions. Every now and then I like to show this aesthetic, this what I cling to. I show a picture of me with a Pokemon, but my friend was like, you know what? People like you, they don't like the Pokemon, James. I'm like, yeah, you're right. Because the ego inside of me is like, I'm the artist. I got the ego. I got my artistic direction and I got my vision. And I think you could damage yourself by closing yourself off. And I think when you listen to your fans, they tell you a silver line of truth on what is success for you as an artist.
Okay, and what is success for you as an artist? Killing the ego, setting the ego aside?
The phrase that I formulated, I think, is going to be my theme, is making the spiritual practical and the practical spiritual.
Hey man, that's dope. Making the spiritual practical and the practical spiritual. Evolution, my dear. Yes.
We have to embrace it. We have to.
Yes, we do. I wish I could embrace you right now.
The COVID hug, the quarantine hug right there. Oh, yeah, I feel it. I love it. Thank
Oh, so you so funny. I'm just, yeah.
you. Hey, I'm loving the vibes.
Me
And,
too.
like I said before, in the first interview, what you're doing is good. What you're doing is brave. What you're doing is good work. And I admire that. And that's why I reached out to you.
For sure. And I admire you too, James. Thank you for reaching out to me. And I just appreciate you, man.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. I don't know any other phrase I could say. Thank you and you're welcome, man. Like all love,
All
all
love.
positive vibes. Just the truth. Only the truth and nothing but the truth. That's what I live for.
Yeah, and that we're going to end on that note because that was a beautiful note to end on. Just be truthful. Don't be afraid to be yourself, and don't be, because that's the truth too. You are your true self when you're being yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So always stand on that, and yeah, use common sense.
So I guess that is it, folks. Queen
Yeah.
Starr, Miss Hip Hop, Speak Your Mind Radio, PLS Xzady,
Woo!
Chicago, Jersey, stand up. Big shouts out to all my fans out there. New York City, Atlanta was booming for me last month.
Cool.
Australia starting to take over. Perth, Melbourne, Sydney, and I'm probably missing a third one. They're all blowing up for me, and I'm thankful that some people in other locations are picking up on, because going back to the ego, I could be like, yo, I want to be this rap star, I want to be in front of my people, but the analytics is telling me I'm reaching all types of people.
Yes, you are.
I need to broaden my horizon.
For sure. All right, James. Well, I'll be talking to you later.
All right.
And keeping in touch with you, definitely.
Yeah, we have to.
I know. We have to have dinner in Paris.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna have to come around to Chicago because I know somebody out there now.
Yes, you do. Me.
Hey. So there goes another place that I have to connect with, and I got people out there that's rooting for me.
Yes, you do. Always. You always have a friend in me. I don't care what nobody say.
Thank you, and it's the same here.
For sure. Peace out, James.
Peace.
Bye, y'all. That was dope. That was fucking dope as hell. La 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 la.